This is about a man that lived in Louisiana and moved to East Texas. This is about Bernie Tiede.
It's finally happening.
And did you see who emailed us today?
No.
Lainey.
Our friend Lainey?
Our friend Lainey, that email was in our episode that launched today, March 3rd.
Yeah.
Was like, hey, I don't know if you ever heard about, or no. She said something like, I heard the Bernie reference.
Yes.
My dad's from Carthage. And like her mom like helped Bernie with funeral arrangements for like florals and stuff like that.
So that's what inspired you?
Yes. This is The Big Bad Boot.
We're siblings who explore spooky and scary stories, urban legends, tall tales, and true crime, all located in this crazy state that's shaped like a boot. A podcast about the weird state you wish you were from.
Hosted by the weird siblings you wish you had. So I'm not going into my episode just yet.
No, we're doing it the same way we've done it since Nam.
I don't know why I thought we read our emails separately.
No. Why are you so confused?
I don't know.
Is it because we're matching today?
Maybe so. It's throwing me off. And it's my birthday.
Today's Caleb's birthday.
So it's weird. Today was a weird one.
Happy birthday to you. Mallory's here, by the way.
Hi, Mallory.
Hello.
We're excited to have you, Mal.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry I don't match you two.
We should have texted you.
It's okay. It's fine.
I got to the house.
We didn't plan this.
And I walked in. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But it was too late to change.
I opened the door. I was coming out of the pooper. And I was like, oh. And she was like, well, we're already late. We got to go. And I was like, okay.
But this is my favorite sweatshirt.
I did it again.
Stop. Okay.
I just went.
Caleb and I had a long talk on the way here that he sniffles not only like on mic, but he leans into the mic and sniffles. We've got to stop.
I don't know why I do that.
Is it a tick?
Maybe it is.
I've never seen you do that.
I've noticed that I go.
Let's stop both. Let's make it a personal goal to stop doing both. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I listened to the last episode.
It's my birthday. My birthday of all days.
You're right.
I can do anything I want today.
How old are you today?
28. It was weird. It was a weird one.
It's all downhill from here.
It's been downhill since I was 21.
Just wait till you're 30 and everything stops working. Everything hurts.
Everything hurts now. I have a doctor's appointment for my elbow in 3 days. And then in 2 weeks, I have to go to the doctor to see what I'm doing with my knee because I feel like I need a knee replacement.
Already.
Well, I ran cross country for years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I went to tennis. So it's like, what's the two worst things you can do for your knees? Cross country and tennis.
You need to take up swimming.
I know. I'm too buoyant. Like, I'd float too much to be fast.
You can't float in the water unless you have a drink in your hand and sunglasses on. Yeah.
I'm like, I like the water, but if I were a boat, I'd be like a cruise. I'd be the icon of the seas by the whole Caribbean. Very big, but very slow. But luxurious.
I think I would be a party barge. Are you talking about in terms of size or function?
Size.
Okay. Then I would be.
You'd be like a go devil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would be a cruise ship that needs like 4 tugboats to get into port every single day.
Welcome to the Big Bad Boot.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Happy birthday again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's been a weird one.
By the time everybody hears this, it'll be 2 weeks after your birthday, but it's fine. Yeah. In podcast land, today is Caleb's birthday.
Oh, maybe they'll be hearing this when I'm on my party bus.
And Caleb scheduled a party with all his friends on a party bus and scheduled it on the one weekend I won't be in town. So I won't be able to tell you all about it because I won't be there.
But it's the one weekend I don't have something booked.
You should have figured that into your plans.
Look, I have 3 jobs.
I'm practically bedeviled with meetings, etc.
Yeah. I can't.
It's going to be fun.
It is. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Let's get into some emails. I'm excited about some emails. Okay. I'll read.
Do I have 2?
Well, 1 per epi.
Oh,
Caleb's forgetting the whole format.
It's bad today.
You think just because it's your birthday, you could just forget how this works?
It's bad today. I don't know what it is. You know when like you're just not in the mood to be productive.
Alive?
That got dark. No, productive. That was today.
Mm-hmm.
It was a work from home day. It was my birthday.
It's Mardi Gras. Well, technically it's Lundi Gras. Tomorrow's
Right.
Mardi Gras.
Tomorrow's Mardi Gras.
And you were going to go to parades tomorrow, but now the weather messed it all up.
I think me and Courtney might go hit up a North Shore parade. I think we're going to try a Covington parade.
Okay.
I just can't be in the city at 7 a.m. for Zulu.
Yeah, I went to greasing of the poles and I had to be there for 8. And even that was
Yeah, because
kinda
you have to
tough.
leave the North Shore by like 5:30 to get set up. I can't.
But I had to be in like full costume, like full beat, full drag.
No,
And
I can't.
so I had to get up at like 5 and
Aicha.
then get dressed, go pick up Brittany, drive, park,
Man,
all of that.
parking alone.
Speaking of greasing of the poles,
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking this into existence. Caleb will be a pole greaser
Amen.
at Royal Sonesta
Okay.
at the greasing of the poles.
I can do that.
Let me tell you why. So my boss, hey Tammy, I know you're
Hey,
listening
Tam.
and watching from Fidelity Bank. I have the best boss ever.
She is
She's
the
the
sugar
best.
honey iced tea. I love that woman.
She was a pole greaser in 2021,
She
which
would
is like
be.
a big honor.
She would
And
be though.
we were there. I went with her representing Fidelity. We were like in the VIP section. It was like the coolest experience ever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're watching everybody grease the poles. And she turns and she looks at me and she says, "We got to get the big bad boot to grease the poles." And I said, well, she's like, "Would you do it?" And I said, "I don't know if I would be as entertaining as Caleb."
Would Caleb do basically a strip tease around a pole and Vaseline?
Yes, he would.
Heck yeah, I would.
So for those of you who don't know what the greasing of the poles is, it's at the Royal Sonesta Hotel in the French Quarter, which is a historic, well-known hotel
Mhm.
in New Orleans. But
Very nice. I stayed there twice this year.
It's beautiful. And during Mardi Gras, it's even more important, I guess.
Mhm.
So it is famous for this event called Greasing of the Poles, where back in the Dizzy, the balconies on Bourbon Street and in the French Quarter were like very highly sought after. And that's like where
Mhm.
the elite would be during the parades.
So where we wouldn't be.
Where we'd not be. Right. And to keep the other people, the Po people,
the unclaimed,
us,
the indigent.
the unclaimed, from getting to the balconies, because some people would shimmy up the poles to try to get up there. They would literally grease the poles to prevent people from climbing on them. So it just stuck. And so now every year on Diva Day, which is the Friday before Mardi Gras,
Mhm.
they do the greasing of the poles. So it is our mission to get Caleb as a pole greaser for next year. Royal Sonesta, I'm looking you in the eyeballs. You won't regret it. I've seen this man do a dance contest on a Royal Caribbean cruise and win.
Man, I'll rip my shirt off.
Mhm.
I shook
You
my
poured-
man boobs
you
in a
poured
75-year-old woman's face.
He poured seltzer all over himself.
Well, I asked the woman, I said, "Do you have the drink package?" And she said, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, cool, bet." Because I was like, let me not waste Gertrude's pina
Mhm.
colada.
Caleb's
was
target
great.
audience.
I went between her legs
Uh-huh.
under her chair, popped up,
Yeah, it was
did one of these.
was
was great.
fantastic. So Royal Sonesta, that's pole greaser for 2026.
Yes.
Right there.
Dad could build us a big boot and I could like,
You could come out of it like
and all you see is my leg.
yes.
That'd be great.
It's the script's writing
Or
itself.
I could start at the balcony and slide down, but all you'd hear was my fat going like, that would be good. Oh man.
It's a no-brainer. Don't embarrass yourself and not book him, Royal Sonesta.
That would be cool.
All right. Sorry. What are we doing?
This is a podcast.
This is a podcast. All right. Here's our first email for today.
Okay. Heads up. This is an external email.
Hi, Katie and Caleb.
Hey.
My name is Berkeley, and I'm local to Ponchatoula, LA.
Stop. Love that
That's a
name,
great
Berkeley.
name.
You're starting off really good, Burke.
I'm a huge fan of your podcast. Your podcast is the favorite part of my days. It's rare that I find myself audibly laughing out loud when I'm alone in my car, but every time I put on your podcast while driving to work, I find myself laughing and smiling multiple times.
Oh.
It seriously brings me so much joy and brightens my day. I love how I feel like I'm right there in the room with y'all. In my mind, we are best friends.
Oh, the room where it happened. The room where it happened.
You can come join us.
Berkeley, come on, girl. You probably live right down the road
Yep.
from me. You can ride with me here.
And I absolutely love how y'all are always quoting old movies and TV shows. It's a coping mechanism. This is also something I do quite often, and I swear no one understands my references, but I've understood every single one of y'all so far, and that's how I know you are my people.
I literally was about to say our people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My favorite episode so far was the one on the Louisiana Mafia and how you connected it to JFK. Again, one of Caleb's eppies.
Thank you, Berkeley.
A little hurt by that because people are
Thank you,
saying their favorite
Berkeley.
episodes are not mine. It's fine. And since you made this connection, it means you can do a big episode on the assassination, right? Winky face. Also, Katie, hearing you talk about the JFK class at SLU makes me want to go back there. Lion alumni here. Lion up.
Yep.
And also take this class because how amazing does that sound? Though I didn't get to take the class, I did take the class Serial Killers and Mass Murders, which I think you both would have enjoyed. At SLU?
That was a thing, Berkeley?
How old are you, Berkeley? Was that not there when I was there? Because I'm
Probably
old.
not.
I love you guys and will be religiously downloading every single episode so you can quit your day jobs and just push out podcasts every week because I need more clap emoji, clap emoji, clap emoji.
Berkeley, from your lips to God's
Mhm.
ears. That sounds awesome.
Much love, Berkeley. Thank you so very much.
Thanks,
That was
Berk.
nice. And I think she's a photographer. Let's see. Let's give her a shout out. Go to berkeleymartinphotos.com. BerkleyMartin photos.com. Berkeley, if you want to take some branding shots of us, let us know.
Oh, sweet.
We'd love to hang out.
Nice.
Your turn. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Downtown Yoga. Downtown Yoga, located in, you guessed it, downtown Hammond, Louisiana, is a cornerstone of community wellness. This year, the studio will celebrate 10 years of guiding people of all levels through the transformative practice of yoga. So Downtown Yoga is actually where I went to my very first yoga class.
That's Brenna's place, right?
Brenna and Brittany. Hey, ladies.
Love them.
I recently just joined again, and I went to my first class back today,
Nice.
and I'm already feeling I got my zen.
Nice.
So whether you're looking to build strength, relieve stress, or learn how to meditate, Downtown Yoga is your sanctuary. With world-class instructors, a variety of classes, and a welcoming atmosphere, there's no better place to roll out your mat. What is really cool about it too is it's on the second floor of one of the buildings in downtown.
Yeah.
So while you're practicing, you can like look out into downtown Hammond, and it's like a
Aw.
really cool view. It's
I love
awesome.
that.
With in-person and virtual classes, free meditation sessions, chair yoga, and specialty workshops, there's no better time to begin yoga. So whether you're looking to improve your flexibility or just quiet your mind, Downtown Yoga will guide you on your journey. Visit hammondyoga.com. That's HAMMONDYOGA.com to learn more. Listeners of the Big Bad Boot can use the special code BBB10 at checkout for exclusive savings on the purchase of a class package. Downtown Yoga, where your path begins.
Y'all know we love a good story, but you want to know what we love just as much? Good food, good drinks, and great vibes. That's why we're excited to tell you about one of Louisiana's most romantic and iconic spots, Jacmel Inn and Restaurant.
Whether you're planning a cozy date night, celebrating with friends, or just looking to unwind after a long day, Jacmel has got you covered. Their menu is packed with amazing dishes, expertly crafted cocktails, and a wine list that will make you want to say, "Cheers, darling," again and again.
And if you're a fan of brunch like us, you'll love their Sunday brunch spread. Let's talk about Tuesday nights because it's steak night. And there's a pretty good chance you'll see Katie and me there enjoying a perfectly cooked steak and probably planning our next spooky tale.
He's not exaggerating. You will see us there all the time. So next time you're in need of a delicious meal and a little ambiance, head over to Jacmel Inn and Restaurant in Hammond. Tell them that the Big Bad Boot sent you. You never know. You just might run into us there.
Jacmel Inn, where great stories and even better memories are made. Now, back to the chills and thrills. Okay, this is from Angie Kinchin. Yep. Hello, Katie and Caleb. I read about your podcast in the Daily Star and have been listening to you ever since. I'm enjoying all the fun, spooky, gory, and wonderful history of this great state. I'm writing to ask if you've heard of the National Hansen's Disease Museum in Carville, Louisiana.
A disease museum?
Yes. And shout out Mama Cindy. So Claire Chapin's mom went on a day trip and I met them in Arley Barley the next day. And she has photos for us, all kinds of stuff.
It's a disease museum?
is.
Why don't we just go?
We should, but Miss Cindy also was like, you and your sister have to look into this.
Okay.
It's Louisiana's National Leprosarium. So it was for like lepers.
For leprosy.
Yes. It was established in 1894 to treat people with leprosy. Then from the late 1980s through the early 1990s, it was also used to house non-violent prisoners. I'm not sure if this would be interesting enough for a podcast, but I thought I'd throw it out and see what y'all thought. Definitely is, Angie. Y'all are doing such a wonderful job. Keep up the good work. I'm telling everybody I know about y'all. My girl, Angie Kinchin. P.S. Don't know if you know or not, a coffin is a tapered box that is wider at the shoulders and narrower at the feet with a removable lid. A casket is a rectangle box with a hinge lid, more modern, what we use today. I noticed during the podcast about oven crypts, you were going back and forth. Good point, Angie. I never knew the difference.
But now that she says it,
That
that's
does
correct.
make sense. Yeah.
Because coffin shaped, when I go get my fancy nails done, I get coffin shaped nails.
They get narrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Angie.
Thanks, Angie.
I like that corrections corner. I'll be sure to say it right next time. Casket versus
Coffin.
Coffin. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's the second time I've heard about that place.
Okay, so what's it called again?
I know it's in Carville.
The what? The Disease Museum?
National Hansen's Disease Museum. It's in Carville, Louisiana.
Okay. I wonder.
Miss Cindy has so many pictures.
Hey, National
Cindy
Hansen's
Perilou, if you're
Disease-
listening, and you better be.
5 stars rated on Google. Hey, guys, if y'all want to do a live epi with us, let us know. I'll
Come
be
on
sending y'all an
down.
email. It's your turn.
It is my turn.
Mm-hmm. And okay, before he starts, he would not let me know what he was talking about, had his paper flipped over so I wouldn't see it. This better be like the episode of the century.
Don't put that much pressure on me.
Okay.
Not today, because this is something that we know so well
Is it what I think it is?
that it could go and it be over.
I don't think that will happen.
Okay. Not because of us. So, this is about a man that lived in Louisiana and moved to East Texas. This is about Bernie Tiede.
It's finally happening.
And did you see who emailed us today?
No.
Lainey.
Our friend Lainey?
Our friend Lainey, that email was in our episode that launched today, March 3rd.
Yeah.
Was like, hey, I don't know if you ever heard about, or no. She said something like, I heard the Bernie reference.
Yes.
My dad's from Carthage. And like her mom, like, helped Bernie with funeral arrangements
Yes.
for like florals and stuff like that.
So that's what inspired you?
Yes.
Mallory, have you ever watched the movie Bernie?
No.
Oh,
I don't know who this is.
I'm going to tell you what I told Jonah. Go home and watch that tonight.
It's
Gosh.
required viewing to produce this podcast.
And you
I
will
will watch it.
you will not regret it.
Bernie?
Yes.
Bernie. It's with Jack Black.
Don't say what it's about because I'm
Yeah.
going to get into that. But the only famous people in it are Jack Black, Shirley MacLaine, and
Matthew
Matthew McConaughey.
What?
And it's filmed documentary style. And every talking head that's not those three famous
He's a real
people
person.
is a real person from Carthage, Texas.
Okay.
It's
I know.
so
I'm gonna like it.
it is like truly Caleb and I's like
Love
language movie.
language.
We watched it. When did we first watch it? Like
We discovered
I was still
it.
living at home. It was
No, I can tell you what we were wearing when we watched that. You were living in your college apartment with Amy Dufresh, and I spent the night one night, and me, you, and Amy Dufresh, I think, watched it. It was either me, you, and Amy, or me, you, and Catherine,
yeah.
but we watched it that night. I'm like 90% sure
I was gonna
that's
say it was
the
a
first
long
time.
time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Caleb,
Do you see now why I'm like, the whole way here, I was like, Katie, I'm so nervous because I'm either going to fly through this or talk way too much.
no, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be beautiful. It's your birthday. You can do what you want.
It is. And I figured I could steal it because this is one that me and Katie were like, we know we're going to talk about it, but like, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? It's my birthday.
I'm
doing
gonna
it.
let you do it because it's your birthday.
Thank you. That being said, there are multiple details in the movie that are not correct.
Okay. I'm excited to learn what's not correct.
Well, there's one very big one that's not correct. That I was like, oh my God, which we'll get into that. But this qualifies as a Big Bad Boot episode because he spent most of his childhood in Louisiana.
And he went to McNeese.
No, he did not.
That's not true?
No,
But they said that in the movie.
they did. And he didn't work for Leggett Funeral Home either. Right?
Well, I'm very glad you're doing this
Me
because we
too.
need to set the record straight.
Okay. Cheers.
To Bernie. Cheers to Jack Black.
And honestly, Bernie Tiede too.
Honestly,
work. Well, maybe not, but
halfway.
halfway.
Yeah. Okay, Caleb, may the force be with you.
Okay. And you'll be proud of me. I know I sniffled. Shut up. I broke it down into subgroups.
Oh.
I know. Okay. Early life and background. So he was born in Abilene, Texas.
You haven't said his full name.
Bernie Tiede.
Tiede.
It's like his father was Ukrainian, so his name is actually Bernhard Tiede.
Mm-hmm.
So he was born August 2nd, 1958. He was born in Abilene, Texas. His mother tragically died in a car accident when he was 2, so him and his father moved to Louisiana.
Okay.
His father remarried in 1963, and then about 5 to 10 years later after that, they moved to East Texas.
Okay, so he spent the majority of his childhood in Louisiana.
He graduated from Copper High School in Abilene,
I wonder what their
Texas.
mascot is. The fighting
Okra.
fire ants. Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what it is. He attended Stephen F. Austin State University in Texas, but did not earn a degree.
So, okay, never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself.
So, like, when they say,
So
he graduated from McNeese
with
and
a
I
degree
hired him
in
with
mortuary science,
he does not have a degree. So, he has no degree. And I even asked ChatGPT, like, why? Like, where did he go to school? Did he spend any time at McNeese? And it literally said, like, contrary to the 2011 film Bernie, he did not spend any time at McNeese University in Shreveport.
And I
was
even
like,
love that they pronounced it McNeese.
McNeese. Yeah.
Whatever.
He became a mortician and worked at Hawthorne Funeral Home in Carthage, Texas as an assistant funeral director.
I low-key could do that job. I could. Okay, first of all, those people make buku money. It's recession proof.
They do, but like I don't have the bandwidth to do that because
don't bother me.
We have 2 people in our family that do that. Hayden Puma.
Hey.
And Petey Bentavania.
Hey, Pete.
So they are 2 of the most like kind-hearted, calm, yet bubbly and fun people on the planet.
Like if I needed bad news delivered, I would want one of them to tell me bad news.
It's got to be Hayden or Petey because I think like the last death in our family,
Hayden
was the one who came and he also got Papa Melvin too.
Yep.
So yeah, which Petey wasn't
in the family yet.
Yeah, wasn't in the family yet and wasn't doing in the funeral game.
And he wasn't in the biz.
But so yeah, this is about Bernie. It's about to get wild.
I'm so excited. Mallory, you're not about to know what's going to happen.
It's crazy.
Okay.
So Bernie gets hired at Hawthorne Funeral Home. I'm going to keep wanting to say Leggett. So if I mess up, I'm sorry. But he gets hired. And he is, how should I put this? He is a older bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a little effeminate.
He's, what do they say? A little light in the loafers.
That's what they say in the movie.
Which is work queen.
But that's also kind of a slur.
It's a slur, but work queen.
He does, plot twist, he does come out later in his life. So
Shocker.
he was like a closeted
homosexual
man. Mm-hmm. So he loved his DLOLs, his dear little old ladies, which they say that in the movie too. So he was very good at like calming old women and bearing bad news. He was really good, what they say in the movie, he was really good at removals. like going to pick up the dead bodies. He would always like spend time after each funeral to go check on the widows and like blah, blah, blah. So like all his friends were old. They call them blue hairs.
Blue hairs.
He had just a whole bunch of blue hairs
My
around him.
favorite, this is just going to be a Bernie movie review episode.
Pretty much.
But one of my favorite parts is this old lady's like said he was so good at makeup on the dead bodies and making them look beautiful. He says, and what did she say?
If you had an overbite, he can make it to where you weren't so sticky-outy.
And make you look 10 years younger. But
wait. And then he would take a bouquet of 12 white roses and put them in your head. I mean, he just made you look great. Too bad you were dead. I love that woman. I love her so much. So
I'm sweating. I'm so excited.
Right?
I know.
Okay, so he gets to where he is constantly with these old women. Well, there's one old woman. Her name is Marjorie Nugent.
Miss Nugent.
Miss Nugent.
Miss Nugent.
So
her nose was so high, she'd drown in a rainstorm.
So
people are going to get annoyed.
They are. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I tell you what, Aaron and Leslie are doing cartwheels somewhere right now. Listen to this, though. So Miss Nugent, she was married to Dwayne Nugent, who was a giant oil tycoon. Like this man bought a bank.
Like he reminds me of somebody that would be like in the show Dallas.
Yes. Now that's Dallas.
That is Dallas.
He was like, what they say, he used phrase like, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
And he was just this like big, burly, old oil tycoon.
What's the man's name that's in the commercials that says diabetes?
That's what I was picturing in my head.
Him.
Yes. So he's loaded from the oil business.
Love.
He buys a bank, which I still owe money on my Honda Accord. So I don't know how he bought a bank, but he's loaded with a double L. Nope, capital L. Yoded.
He's yoded.
So they said he ran the bank with like an iron fist, but when he passed away, they said Miss Nugent would just decline a loan as a hobby.
Love.
Like she was completely hated. So then he passes away. Miss Nugent.
So she becomes head of the bank when he dies.
Yes.
Or she was already working there?
She was working there under him.
As like a loan officer?
No.
Or no?
She just was like VP.
Cool.
But her husband owned it.
Cool.
So I doubt she worked a lot.
I'm telling you, I say this all the time. And my family knows it's a joke, but not really. If anything happens to my husband, I'm going for that type of man. I'm going 60 and above. A man 60 and above with money. Don't care what they look like.
You got my man or woman. I don't care.
Don't care what they look like.
If they have money, you have my clearance. Go for it. So.
Love you, Michael.
Poor Michael.
He knows this.
So this woman now is the head of her own estate. She's worth about $10 million. She owns a bank, but she's hated. Like this woman is evil. Like
I'd rather cry on my yacht by myself.
That's true. But the talking heads in this movie.
Oh, they hate her.
They these are real people talking.
Okay, is that confirmed that it is real people or is it actors?
No, it is real. So me, Les, Aaron, and Louise watched it last night.
Okay.
And it the credits that are rolling, they don't say playing as blah, blah, blah. They do for the three famous people. Okay. Then when they start listing the actual townsfolk,
I just don't want
just their names.
People to come at us in the
which correct me if I'm wrong.
If we're wrong,
please,
let us know.
But I'm 99% sure that's the real people of Carthage.
Okay.
So I don't want to jump too far ahead.
Okay.
So moral of the story, she's a bitch. And Bernie's like this sweet little angel, whatever. So he goes to visit her
after her husband dies.
And then over time, she starts getting kind of possessive over him.
Because they become friends. Like
besties.
He was like her companion.
Yes. Like she had, once her husband died, this woman had nobody else. Like nobody at all.
Well, like her kids didn't talk to her.
No, her grandkids, so her kids didn't talk to her. Her grandkids, one set of grandkids threatened to sue her to get at the trust. One granddaughter actually did sue her.
Yeah.
So she ends up getting super close with Bernie. They travel the world. They went to like Europe, Russia,
Dream scenario.
went somewhere on the Queen Mary, like always first class and blah, blah, blah. So she starts to get very possessive.
Mm-hmm.
But before she dies, she makes Bernie power of attorney. So he like buys himself an airplane.
Dream scenario.
Buys these two little girls a tree house.
Like
Paid off people's
wasn't he
homes.
very generous with the
Yes.
money? Yeah.
But his own personal things, he was usually behind on the payments. Like he wasn't greedy. He wasn't selfish. He gave all of that money away pretty much. Paid for like some stuff at his church, like all kinds of stuff.
And he bought like failing businesses and helped them out. Like what was it, a trophy store?
Says, he bought this shop in downtown called Carthage Awards. That's a trophy shop. Yes. So he wasn't greedy, and it wasn't like he was trying to make any money off of this woman.
He was, yeah.
He was just trying to make the best out of his situation. I think
he was trying to make people like him.
I think so.
I think he was trying to get approval from everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the only way he knew how to do it.
You're in the South, you're in East Texas. You don't really have that many friends besides like a whole bunch of blue hairs, like old women. You're in the closet.
Right.
Like this
is the only outlet you have.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Well, she starts to begin getting like super, super possessive over him. So she makes him go part-time at the funeral home, full-time working for her. She fires all of her help besides Bernie.
And you know her house ain't small.
No. So he's like cooking, cleaning, picking up her dry cleaning, taking her to lunch every day, like all kinds of stuff. Well, she's like horribly, horribly mean. So the theory is like there's evil and there's nice. And maybe she was just a little too evil than he was nice. So one day, as they're leaving, he picks up a rifle and shoots her 4 times in the back. And she dies. So he panics and is like, what do I do? So he puts her in her own deep freezer, preserves her body with salt.
Underneath like bags of frozen broccoli.
And then puts like steak and broccoli and corn, like all her groceries back in it. And then for a very, very long time, over a year. No one is really looking for her.
Because nobody liked her.
Everybody hates her. Like her sisters hated her.
That's my favorite part.
Which her sister on the show says, like, I should love her because she's my sister, but I don't. She used to break my toys, tear the heads off my dolls.
Yeah.
She'd burn my homework. Like, everyone hated this old woman. So for over a year, no one is asking about her. He's like getting get well soon cards signed at church.
He's calling like
her hairdresser, called her hairdresser and said that she was no longer going to be there.
Yeah.
Well, why? She says that you take too long and you charge too much. Billy, I'm just the messenger.
Yeah. He starts calling like her dentist, her hairdresser, and and I don't want to jump ahead, but the only person who was looking for her
next point.
Was her stockbroker.
Because Bernie wasn't moving her money around.
He wasn't good with money.
So he wasn't making any commission.
Yeah.
Because Bernie had power of attorney, but apparently didn't have whatever power he needed to move her stock around. So the stockbroker is like, where is Mrs. Nugent? So he starts calling Bernie, harassing him, blah, blah, blah. Well, Lloyd, I guess that's his real name.
The stockbroker.
The stockbroker is in the movie. His name is Lloyd. But the stockbroker starts going around to like people that have worked for her or people that know her. So like he goes to the bank and was like, like what's going on? And he said, well, I was just at her house. She signed a paper for me 2 weeks ago. And he was like, okay, so.
But did you actually lay eyes on her?
You saw her. And he was like, well, no, I went to the door and Bernie said she had had a series of small strokes. So he took the papers to her room, signed them, and brought the papers back signed. I went about my business. Yes. So Lloyd is like the stockbroker. He's like, okay, that confirms a pattern. Like something's going on. So then stockbroker gets the family involved because the family, once the stockbroker calls, the family is like, you know what? Actually, we get a giant check once a year, every year since our granddad passed, and we haven't gotten it this year because she had to do it.
Yeah.
So the family gets involved. They do like a wellness check on her when Bernie's not there because he
Mhm.
didn't live with her. They do a
Wasn't
wellness
he like
check.
flying his airplane?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
in the movie. That's what
In
he
the
was doing.
movie.
He was giving a pep talk to the Little League baseball team in the movie when the cops found him. So
I just know Jack Black.
It
He's
kills this.
amazing.
I
Perfect.
know already. I can see it. I can hear
he's
it.
amazing.
And he talks like this. And it's
Oh.
perfect. Sorry. It's
No,
not going
you're
to be a
fine.
movie review.
No, you're fine. I mean, because we're already almost through it at this
Yeah.
point. So they're walking through the house. And like the house is pristine. It looks like it hasn't been touched. But then they walk to the garage, and the sheriff's like, "Why would someone duct tape a deep freeze shut?" And opens the deep freezer, moves all the groceries, and just sees the top of Mrs. Nugent's head.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm picturing Shirley MacLaine, and it makes me so sad.
I know.
So it's bad. So they find out what happens, look for him, find him, and he immediately confesses. Like he
Yeah.
confesses
Like in the car.
Like when they're walking up to him, he's like, "Yes, I did it. Like I must atone for my sins." Like he confesses immediately. This is where it gets fun. So he is so well liked in this town that nobody will convict him of anything. Like the local theater did a show called Freezing Miss Daisy starring Bernie Tiede.
Well, I think it was just a joke. Like they didn't do an actual show.
No. I don't think they did that. But like people, like they had that on their windows. People were driving around with like free Bernie all over their car.
Yeah.
So
this is where we get to meet the district attorney,
which is Danny Buck.
Yeah.
Which is played by Matthew McConaughey.
Danny Buck.
So he starts going around and everyone's like, "Danny Buck, if I'm on that jury, I'm voting to acquit. Like, you're not putting this kid away." So
like there were people saying like basically she deserved it. Like she was like she must have made him lose his mind and like
there
made
was
him
one lady and she was like, Danny Buck said, no. One of the persons says like, "You know, Bernie, he can't shoot a rifle." And that lady is like, "Did we think maybe, just maybe, it was
in
self-defense?"
Yeah.
Like this woman is hated.
Like
so
not a single person is on her side. It kind of makes you a little sad.
Not me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to this woman. Sorry, Miss Nugent. If you're that mean,
Miss Nugent,
if you're that mean and that many people hate you,
you're right.
You treat some people badly. So Danny Buck finally convinces the judge to move the trial over 50 miles away because he knows he can't get a conviction.
He can't get a fair trial.
So like not the district attorney. I think it was one of the judges in the town or something. He was like, "I've seen so many times in my life where we've had to move a trial because like the poor bastard on the stand is already so well hated that they're going to convict him no matter what." Like I've never had to move a trial because
the defendant was so well liked.
So they move it to like Augustine, something, Texas. I know it's the squirrel hunting capital of the world, wherever it was. But they move the trial and he gets convicted of first-degree murder.
Okay.
So he's arrested on August 18th. And I also didn't realize that. When would you guess this took place?
So it was
after watching the movie.
So the movie was made in what, 2011?
Yes. So when do you think the crime happened?
2005?
No. Bernie was arrested August 18th, 1997.
They make it seem like
so recent.
Like in the 2000s at least.
Yes. Like I was I was 6 months old.
Yeah, you were just born.
So he immediately confesses, but claim he acted due to years of emotional abuse from Miss Nugent.
Mm-hmm.
So the prosecutors argued that he killed for financial gain, while the defense claimed that he was just a victim of abuse.
Yeah.
In 1999, he was convinced. He was convicted of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison.
Okay.
Well, in 2016, a new jury resentenced him because he got released in 2014.
Okay.
Because
and this was after the movie came out.
after the movie, because I think it gained like traction and stuff.
So he was released because of the movie?
A psychologist came in and basically said he had so much trauma
From her
that it was almost self-defense, because like
Mhm.
he wouldn't have lived if he would have kept living with this woman, like helping her and blah, blah, blah. So he got like released. It was kind of unclear whether it was like probation or something like that,
Yeah.
whatever. So in 2014, a judge granted him temporary release on bail because he was awaiting resentencing because of what that psychologist basically said.
Got it.
So in 2016, a new jury resentences Bernie to 99 years to life despite his defense presenting evidence of trauma.
Got it.
Bernie Tiede is currently serving his sentence at the John B. Connolly unit in Kennedy, Texas, but he's eligible for parole in the year 2029.
Okay.
So 4 years.
How old will he be in 2029?
89.
Bernie.
Let's go.
Let's go see him. Is that inappropriate?
No.
Okay.
Y'all. Well, okay, so I did some research on the movie itself
Mhm.
too. So like
What else was inaccurate?
those are the only things that
Okay.
were inaccurate. But Jack Black is a method actor, which I didn't
Right.
know that either. So
Another reason
I had no
love
idea.
him.
So they allowed him to go visit Bernie all the time
That
when
was
they were
my
making this
question.
movie.
I'm like, I bet you went.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
It sounds like Bernie's a nice guy. You go see him.
Exactly. Right? They said that
Wasn't he like an exemplary prisoner? Like
they said within like a week, when he was in like county holding, he had started a prayer group, a Bible study, and he was cooking for all the staff. Like he's amazing.
Bernie Tiede, we stand.
Oh, that I had wings like a dove. Like this movie is like
We cannot put into words how much we
I'm
love this
so
movie.
Sweaty. I love this movie so much. But like the people talking about this woman, because you have to keep in mind, this was filmed in 2011. These people are talking about a woman that's been dead. And one said there were people in this town that have shot her for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Her nose is so high.
She drowned in a rainstorm.
That woman, I know when they went on their trip to, before their trip to Belize, they went to Louisiana, went to Shreveport to that Dolores' sex shop. And she got a nightgown that showed her breasts. Disgusting.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Hammond Square, where I spend a lot of my money. Hammond Square is your premier shopping destination in Tangipahoa Parish, with stores like Target, Best Buy, Home Goods, Michaels, Ulta, TJ Maxx, Dillard's, and more. You'll find what you need every time. Ever heard of all those things?
Yes. I spend a lot of time and money at Target.
We also have a great lineup of locally owned shops, including Bellagio Salon and Spa and our personal favorite, Obsession Boutique,
Mhm.
Twirl, and Tailored. Or if you're looking for a great place to unwind and dine, Hammond Square offers cuisine you can't pass up, like Albasha, margaritas, Santa Fe, walk-ons, Five Guys, Chipotle, Poke City, and even dessert. Wait, is it pronounced poke or poke?
I don't know.
We should have probably asked
That's fine.
Poke
It's
City or
poke.
Poke. Thank you,
Thank
Mallory. Poke City, and even dessert. Crumble cookies and Great American Cookie are a great pick every time. Everything you need is right at Hammond Square. You can check out Hammond Square in person and on our socials, Facebook and Instagram. They are located on I-12 at exit 40. Go see them today. We can't keep talking about the movie and recapping it because this is not gonna be funny for people.
Y'all have to go home and watch
And
it.
please, comment when we post these videos and tell us what you think of Bernie. Email us what you think of the movie.
Please.
If this somehow gets me to Jack Black, so be it.
Or, I mean, I know you love Jack Black. I'm equally as excited for the opportunity to meet Bernie himself.
It's
Like if they
same.
said you can meet Jack Black or Bernie Tiede, I'd be like,
You go meet Bernie, I'll go meet Jack Black.
okay, we can FaceTime.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't allow phones in prison,
No, they don't.
but it's okay.
Yeah.
But
Great job.
yeah, that's the story of Bernie Tiede.
Which is technically a Big Bad Boot story because he grew up in Louisiana.
Yes.
I
This
think
was
that's
almost
valid.
a down the road episode.
Yeah.
But he did grow up in Louisiana. And Bernie,
If you're listening, we love you.
we love you. No matter what happened, you did atone for yourself.
Yeah, the Lord forgives us for our sins.
Amen.
And
He's probably leading a prayer circle
Right
right now.
in prison, in the John B.
Man.
Connolly Institution.
Unit B.
Hey, whatever that means. Maybe that's the good unit.
I'm going to write to him. Remind me tomorrow at 8 to write Bernie.
Are we glorifying like murderers?
I just feel like
is this borderline?
if they
No.
found 30 people to star in a movie about how much they all hated this woman collectively as a town,
Caleb, I don't know if those weren't actors.
I looked it up. I fact checked y'all.
okay.
Most of them were not actors. A few were, but most of them
Okay.
were
That
real
makes me-
townspeople.
That makes me
Thank you,
feel good.
Mallory.
Thank you, Mal.
Okay, I
See, that's
feel-
producing in real
Period.
time.
Period.
You
I got
You
the
get-
epiphany
you got
sweats.
getting the meat sweats.
No, I had those last night because of spaghetti.
Well, Caleb,
Huh.
that was great. That was an adventure. It took me back down memory lane.
Was it good?
It was great.
Okay. I was so nervous because our passion for this movie is insane. So I was like, this is going to be like, it's
well,
over.
our viral video that sparked us to actually make this podcast
Yes, was a lot of Bernie
half of
quotes.
those quotes are from Bernie.
Yes, that is true.
Like our, what was it called? Sibling Dictionary. Half
Yes.
of those quotes are from this movie.
We see, we're not glorifying. I just want to shake his hand for our stardom. Thank you, Bernie Tiede.
You started this podcast.
Not for the homicide,
Right.
but
You
for,
started
for
this podcast. Great job, buddy.
Thank
You should
you.
be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. I am most of the time.
But happy birthday as well.
Oh, thanks.
28.
Yep.
Old buddy.
Got a bad elbow and a trick knee, but
Mhm.
hey, I get to sit in a hot tub later. And, and I'm off tomorrow.
You're
I
off
just forgot I
tomorrow.
was off tomorrow.
It's a good
Won't
birthday.
he do it? God is good.
All the time.
And all the time, God is good. And I have a really cool boss that loves Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Shout out Robert Stone.
Well, I'm very happy that you decided to A, tackle that story.
Period.
B, not tell me about it. It was a great
Right.
surprise.
I literally, Mallory can attest, and our group message was like, Mallory, print my notes, put them face down in my spot so my sister cannot see.
And that's what she did.
Period.
Producing at its finest.
I'm so glad that one's over. I was
We hope you
nervous.
enjoyed that. We hope it wasn't too much of just us regurgitating a movie that we saw 1,000 times. But we know it was probably pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was good.
Thanks.
So we do get this question a lot about how can people support the pod? We've had a bunch of people kind of ask us lately. Here are some things you can do to support the pod. 1, download all the episodes. Don't just listen to them. Whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, download them because that helps us get our numbers up.
Yes.
You can also watch us on YouTube. So if you're listening to this right now,
Mm-hmm.
just the audio, and you're like, I wonder what they look like in real time, you can watch us on YouTube
Yes.
and see our beautiful faces. And it's free on YouTube. So the more that people watch on YouTube, the easier we can monetize the channel. So you see how
And
that
review
how that
it.
works. Review it.
Tell a friend.
Buy our merch.
Because Jonah even said that too. He said if a friend tells a friend about your product, they take it to heart better rather
They
than
do.
you telling people to go do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
And
so
buy our merch.
buy our merch. Just Google the Big Bad Boot checkout stores
Mhm.
and you can find it there. We have all kinds of stuff. And we are meeting with our merch folks at Romano Promo next week. We're about to
Woo!
get dog stuff, baby stuff.
Yes. Ooh.
What else did they say? Some more headwear.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I
got-
was shocked by the amount
we've
of
got
things
some
they
things
can
coming
do.
down.
It's awesome.
On Merch Avenue.
Coming down the turnpike.
Pike. Yeah. Good job.
Thanks.
And again, tell a friend about the show
yes.
because that's going to help us grow. We hit officially over 21,000.
Yes. We were at 20,000 last night. We broke 21,000 already today.
Amazing.
Thanks, you
Period.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. What is that all? You have anything else for the good of the pod?
That's it.
Okay, well, remember, God made you.
And the Ruguru too.
So be kind to one another.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that I had wings like a dove. The Big Bad Boot is produced by Lettuce Media and edited by Mallory and Jonah.
Our music was produced by Macro Tracks. Our super cool logo was designed by AWC Graphics. And our sense of humor and childhood trauma was sponsored by Kelly and Abby Morse.